everybody, today we're going to be creating a project where we learn about shadows. Shadows are created by the light shining on an object, and then the space behind the object where the light is not showing is our shadow. We're going to be practicing tracing around different shadows. So the things that you're going to need for this project: you will need a piece of paper. It can be a white piece of paper or it could be a colored piece of paper. You'll need something to draw with, so something like a pencil, and something to color with, so markers or crayons. Any of those things work great. You'll also need a little small animal of some kind, like, or a toy, something, some sort of animal or a toy that you can place on your paper to be able to trace, but it does need to be small. If it's too big, it will not work. Gather your supplies and we'll be ready to get started. Okay, I've gathered my supplies for tracing shadows. I've got a white piece of paper. If you have other color paper, you can use that instead, or you can use a white paper. I've got some crayons to color with, so you're going to need either crayons or markers to do this, or if you don't have crayons or markers, you can just do this with a pencil as well. You want to make sure you have either a black crayon or a black marker. We're going to use that for our shadows, but I'm not going to use that just yet. And then you need some kind of little toy or a little figure or something that you will be able to trace. So I have these little dinosaur toys that I'm going to use. So we'll use those in a little bit. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a picture, and so I'm going to make my dinosaurs be in kind of a outdoor scene. So I'm going to color some grass first, and then I'm going to add maybe some mountains in the background and a sky. It is totally up to you what kind of scene you use. If it doesn't make sense for your, if you're maybe chose a little action figure, maybe your action figure doesn't live or isn't going to be in an outside scene, that's okay. Just make it wherever you make sense for your picture. So I'm going to color in a landscape picture now. Okay, so now I've got my picture drawn. Remember, you can make your picture like mine, or you can make your picture different than mine. That's totally fine. Now my next step is to do my shadows. Now if you can, take your paper and your supplies outside. So I'm going to take my dinosaurs, a black crayon, and my paper outside. If you're not able to go outside, or maybe it's a really rainy or cloudy day, or something like that, you can also do this with a flashlight. So if you have a flashlight or any kind of like a lamp or something at home, you can do this as well. You'll want to turn off the overhead light. So let the light switch in your room or whatever room you're in. You'll want to turn that off before you try to use your flashlight, because if not, the flashlight probably won't be strong enough, or the lamp. But I'm going to go outside and show you the next step. Okay, it's a really nice sunny day today. So I have placed my paper on the deck, and I've got my little dinosaur set up. You might notice that I'm sitting towards the side. If I sit in front right here, my shadow is going to block these shadows. So what I'm going to do is kind of sit to the side. I'm going to hold my little dinosaur down, and you're just going to have to do the best that you can. Sometimes your hand kind of blocks the shadow, but just try the best that you can so that you can get your shadows traced. Kind of moved on me a little bit while I was tracing. That's okay. And I'm just gonna kind of put the little legs in myself, because it's kind of hard to see the legs. So I've got one of my dinosaurs traced. Now I'm gonna do the next one. He's got some really cool things on the top of his body, so I'm gonna trace him next. And again, I'm going to have to move him to do his legs. So I'm just going to put his little legs in there. Alright, so now that I've done the tracing, I'm going to take my paper back inside and color in my shadows. Okay, so now that I'm back inside, and you can color outside as well if it's a really nice day. It was a little bit chilly outside, so I brought my paper back inside. I'm going to color in my shadows with my black crayon, and you can, if remember, if you're using markers, that's fine too. If you don't have black, you can also do this with just a pencil as well. So I'm going to color in my shadows on my dinosaurs. Okay, now I've got my shadows colored in, so I'm going to set my little dinosaurs back up. And there is my finished artwork with my landscape background, the shadows that are created by coloring and tracing around the shadows that we saw in real life, and then coloring them in. I hope you had a lot of fun creating this artwork, and I can't wait to see everybody's creations. Bye.